Hi, today is June 28th, 2026, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 993 for the year, Another Beautiful Moment. In another beautiful moment, she looked up at the brilliant blue sky and the whitest white clouds that were mostly obscured by the greenest green leaves of the magical trees, and sighed. Poem number 994, Death Stormed In. Death stormed in without knocking and demanded a cup of chamomile tea. I only had hibiscus, so death stormed out and left me alone and alive. Poem number 995, Death's Joke. I made a cup of test. Poem number 995, Death's Joke. I made a cup of tea for death and watched him drink it sip by sip. He nearly took away my breath with a silly, hilarious quip. A ham sandwich enters a bar, Death began with an impish grin, and I awaited him to finish as if I were seated on a pin. Death took another sip of tea and gave the punchline loud and clear. The bartender told the sandwich, "Sorry, I'm afraid we do not serve food here." Poem number 996, Being Beings. The beings were tired of being beings, but knew not how to stop being beings, which would have involved being non-beings, but being a non-being would still be being, so the beings, it seemed, were stuck being beings, and recognizing that, the beings tried to make the best of it by being beings of the highest attainment possible for beings, at which point they reached the state of non-being, and somehow realized their goal of the goal of their being, which, as mentioned above, was to stop being beings. Poem number 997, The Embodied Body. The body had reached a state of pure embodiment. That is to say, everything about the body was embodied, and nothing about the body was non-embodied. Being as such, the body was able to embody itself, and sing out, and ring out, and shine, and shimmer as a perfect and pure embodiment of an embodied body. The body ventured forth into the universe, and not a single other body that the embodied body met was impressed with the achievement of the embodied bodied. I mean, you're a body was the general consensus and the spoken observation of virtually every witness. What can you do other than be embodied? The embodied body eventually accepted this truth and realized that its achievement was no achievement at all, and it got off of its high horse and finally got a job. Poem number 998, The Non-Corporeal Corpse. The non-corporeal corpse lays there like a dead thing, but it isn't dead because it never was alive, and it isn't a thing because it has no form or shape or boundary. It transcends existence like an abstract concept or digital data, or say a soul or a spirit. The non-corporeal corpse frustrates any attempts at depiction or description. It doesn't do anything because to do would imply a state of being that it does not have. So it just lays there, like the dead thing that it isn't. And the last poem of the day, poem number 999, The Cops. The cops lay there completely unlike a dead thing. Unlike any given non-existent thing, the cops existed as a small, dense thicket of trees and shrubs. It was more than alive, it teemed with life. It celebrated existence the way a king might celebrate his coronation day. The copse was a living embodiment of celebration, of nature and nature's God, of all and everything else besides. You might look at it and say, what the fuck, it's just a copse of trees, what's the big deal? But if you get up close to the copse, it might punish you for your insolence and ignorance and turn you into a corpse. You'd be a corporeal corpse, of course, but you'd still be a corpse, thanks to the cops. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.